If you want an advice for every marketeer that works in B2B, what I would say is like a playbook.
Yeah.
Playbooks are fantastic. Like you can get in any job tomorrow, like you go from Salesforce to Oracle to Uber for businesses. The most important thing is that the playbook. So everything you do, try to always record it, create like workflow.
Yeah.
Streamline, things. That helps everyone, and not only us that do B2B, but our customer as well. When you sell to a marketing strategy to your customer, you always recommend them to create workflow for everything because it simplifies their work. Many people told me you had a comfortable life. How did you give that all up to open your own company and just risk it all? I'm like, I don't want to be comfortable, right? It's not my thing, I'm trying to do, as I was saying, now I'm planning to do a triathlon. I don't even have a bike.
Yeah.
And it's in 2 months. I use this Sprout for all of my accounts, and they give you amazing insight. And I'm really enjoying because it's like they create the reports for you. They are fantastic. And when the customer actually has Salesforce, it's amazing because like we can connect Sprout to Salesforce. I can create campaign and I can check how the performance of the campaign is going. So I love dashboard and I love data. So for me, every type of software that gives me data, it's the best.
Hi Valbona, how's it going?
Hello, how are you? Thank you for inviting me today.
You're most welcome. Welcome to Below the Fold. I'm super excited to have you.
Me too. It's a pleasure, honestly.
Yeah. Why don't you, let's start with giving an introduction maybe to the viewers and listeners of Below the Fold. So, who is Valbona?
Hello everyone, my name is Valbona. I'm originally from Albania. Yeah. I grew up in Italy, that's why you have this accent. Funny accent.
Yeah.
What I do right now is I'm the founder of 23 Media. I'm trying to be an athlete as well. I'm going to have my first triathlon soon.
Wow.
Private life, I got engaged 6 months ago, so planning a wedding.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to Joy, who's with us in the room.
I come from a huge family. I have a sister, 2 brothers. They all live in London right now. It's a family of entrepreneurs, so that's why I got this, let's say, inspiration and ambition and drive.
Yeah.
Besides that, on Instagram, an influencer. I'm trying to post content related to the day-to-day job, marketing, but sometimes I add some lifestyle things because I believe that at the end of the day, people want to get connected and want to work with me as a Valbona, I'm trying to build the trust rather than only just promoting the company as it is without a figure behind.
Yeah, I was talking about that, by the way, with the previous guest, that the younger audiences are looking for the humans behind the brands, right? And this is why the human element is becoming more and more important, right? Personal branding is becoming more important. Who are the people behind the companies, behind the brand, what they stand for, right? Tesla is Tesla because of Elon Musk. Amazon is because of Jeff Bezos. So there's a lot of content that revolves around the people behind the companies.
They become more trustworthy, right?
Exactly.
And you want to associate with the value that these people represent. Like I was working at Salesforce for 5 years before I decided to quit.
Right.
And the value that the company has is like trust, loyalty, digital transformation, like customer success. The more you succeed, I succeed. Those are the same value that nowadays actually I bring with me in my company. And I feel that I could relate to them as an employee as well. Right. It was an amazing journey, but happily now I have my own company. Yeah. But yes, going back to the personal branding, like every CEO should be the face and like the leader of the community, I would say.
Right.
For me, a company is like a community, right?
Yeah. And should show the human aspect, right?
100%.
Tell us a bit about your marketing journey. So you mentioned you worked with Salesforce on the marketing team for Salesforce. So you've done a lot of B2B marketing.
Correct.
Which is such a, I guess it's a complicated segment. Or is it not? I mean, I hope you can solve it for us. B2B marketing, right?
Yeah, do you want to know the secret?
Of course I want to know the secrets. I want to know all the secrets. So tell me, like, what has worked for you in Salesforce?
So, well,
it's a broad question, but I mean, if you can simplify it.
The values and the community.
Yeah.
At Salesforce, people know that the employee gets treated better than the customer. So imagine then the customer, the service that you can provide to a customer, imagine, like even like higher. So everything was always high standard when it comes to customer relationship. And what they're selling actually is a CRM, customer relationship management software itself. But for them, everything was real. They wanted the customer to trust them. They wanted to be loyal to them. And the secret that is all in the communication, in the messaging, and in those mascot. The mascot that Salesforce has, and everyone takes a piece out of them.
Right.
They're actually cute, that they make you feel like playful. They make you feel like you can trust them, and it's something that is reachable, and it's something honest. Something kind. So I believe the secret was, apart from the structure that they have like 60,000+ people, and of course a huge team of experts and people working behind day and night. But I would say their culture, their people that work there, the community around them is even stronger, because they have a partner ecosystem that not many people know about it. But when you buy Salesforce, then you gotta implement it, right? And the partners are doing a huge work on that as well, like to promote the community, etc.
Right.
If you want an advice for every marketeer that works in B2B, what I would say is like a playbook.
Yeah.
Playbooks are fantastic. Like you can get in any job tomorrow, like you go from Salesforce to Oracle to Uber for businesses. The most important things are the playbook. So everything you do, try to always record it, create like workflow.
Yeah.
Streamline, things. That helps everyone. And not only us that do B2B, but our customer as well. When you sell to a marketing strategy to your customer, you always recommend them to create workflow for everything, because it simplifies their work.
And it needs simplification, right? The tech
100%.
space. It needs a lot of simplification, a lot of education. What has worked for you in terms of acquiring clients, right? And I believe a lot of people, a lot of advertisers that are selling B2B products are struggling with finding leads, right? Especially that today in these prevalent social media platforms, you don't have that kind of segmentation. Well, of course, besides LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is obviously a massive space, huge avenue for B2B marketing. Is there anything beyond LinkedIn that can be done?
Well, we
emailers,
could,
maybe,
I wouldn't do anymore, but a lot of people are trying WhatsApp, but still, what I would say that it works, and that also will enhance the lead generation on LinkedIn, is educational content.
Right.
And if you connect that to the personal branding, so let's say we have a group of we're trying to sell a software, okay, a SaaS platform. And we have all the account executive of this company creating educational content about the software, how the software will simplify your work, how the software will make your life easier, how would you save time, how would you become more efficient, how would your blah, 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 make more money, ROI, etc., etc. Of course, I'm going to be interested in, let me, wait, what did he just say, or what did she just say? Can I get this? Can I get that? That's interesting. So you will start to follow the person. From following the person, the more they post, the more you get to know about this software or whatever it is that you're trying to sell, right? And that's it. And that's how you, I think, create connection and create the desire in people to know more. And halas, how would you say, the idea is most of the time people don't even know what they want.
Right.
Or they don't even know there is a solution for their problem.
There's a massive headroom, I think, for this, for tech to grow. And obviously there is lack of content, right? So that would fill that void. Any platform you feel has worked more than others in terms of publishing this content? Would you say LinkedIn, YouTube?
LinkedIn. I don't have a huge following on LinkedIn, only maybe 3,000 people, because I wasn't posting a lot there. I just started now. Whilst on Instagram, maybe I have 400,000 people. All the leads that I got are from LinkedIn, because, business people stay on LinkedIn, right? At the end of the day, on Instagram, you have a huge audience, and it's more about awareness and community, whilst LinkedIn is more about lead generation and learning every day something new. All the time that I open LinkedIn, I learn something. There is either an article or a blog or somebody shared a great marketing tactics or a great campaign. Whilst Instagram is more about lifestyle, community, motivational content. So it's a little bit different. So I would say LinkedIn is the future nowadays.
LinkedIn. So people on LinkedIn have that mindset, right? That what is the content, or they're open for content that will help them achieve their goals, right? Their business goals. They're trying to find this insight or these developments that are happening in the market that are relevant to them. But I feel like platforms like YouTube, for example, people are using YouTube, I guess, to look for more content, right? More explainer videos.
Yeah.
And while the mindset on YouTube is different, right? Also, it's not always like business driven. People on YouTube are also looking to waste time, right?
Yeah.
If you publish your content on YouTube, I guess with the right YouTube SEO strategy, maybe you can get behind these search queries that are relevant to business, correct?
100%. Yeah. It's just the audience is going to be broader and different. Whilst on LinkedIn, you have your own audience, right? So let's say I'm targeting this 10 account this year, okay? This is my pipeline. I have there maybe Shalub, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm saying few names out there.
Yeah.
Just for fun. So, and I start to follow, to connect to the right people. Okay?
Yeah.
They're now in my connection.
Yeah.
And then I start to create content towards this company. It's called guerrilla marketing, right?
Yeah.
We start to show them how creative we are. We start to talk about which type of strategy we would use in case we had a retail company, you know? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
100% they will see your content. You know,
Yeah.
if you are consistent and if you post on a regular basis, they will be able to see your post and they will be able to know who you are.
Right. I feel like it's different also based on what B2B product you're trying to sell. So if you're selling advertising services, I think you might need to be a little bit more consistent and meticulous and have more than one exposure, right? And LinkedIn help you do this with one single company, right? You can do account-based planning on LinkedIn. We'll get to that in a sec. But when it comes to like selling software, right? If we go back to your Salesforce days, perhaps that's where there's a need or there's a growing demand in content related to how that software works, which is potentially happening on YouTube, where you could get behind, right? Yeah. So how would Salesforce work, right? People would go to YouTube to find this out as opposed to LinkedIn.
It's a great topic because one of the barrier that all of the software company nowadays are facing is that they're not able to grow as much as they want because people don't know how to use this platform. Yeah. So they sell it, but then, okay, let's say I buy 100 licenses, right? And I have the software now. Well, you need people that know how to use it. Yeah. If not, it's just like giving an iPhone to a 2-year-old kid, you know, like they would not know what to do with it, right?
Right. Or they'll make only 10% use of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we need those channels like YouTube. Yeah. Actually, there are thousands of YouTube videos that explain how to use Salesforce, and so not only Salesforce, you know, like, and there are a lot of courses online as well. Like, you know, we have the Google courses, LinkedIn courses, Salesforce Trailhead is called. So there are a lot of platforms that are trying to educate people on. But you see, we go back to the educational part. It's always about giving. It's like kind of giving back. You always get something out of giving. From my point of view in life in general, I think it always works. The more you give, the more you get back.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like there's an element of community building in giving, and that's what works for community building, is giving something for the community in order to keep that community together, right? And I wonder if community building works for B2B. It works wonders for B2C. Right?
100%.
Community building works wonders for B2C. Yeah. Would it work for B2B?
Yeah, 100%. Is what I was telling you at the beginning. Like the secret of Salesforce was actually community building.
Community building with clients.
Yeah, clients, partners, like customer. Like people would want, like they want to be part of the Salesforce community. They want to say that we're using Salesforce, and they want to go to their event. They want to go to their, I don't know, activities. Anytime there is something related to them, they want to participate, you know. It's really important to create a community, I would say, in everything. Like I'm trying to create my own on 23, but at the same time, I feel like, as we've seen, on top of the personal brand, it's really important to have a community. And it starts with your employee. And then it goes beyond that with your customer and even with people around you. Like they could be friend, family. The important is that you have a community that represents your value. That's really important.
Right.
I would
How
say.
many clients did you acquire from the community?
From my community?
Yeah.
Well, all the customers that I have.
There you
I
go.
haven't done any like paid ads or
Yeah.
I don't use any of the let's say marketing.
Yeah.
Apart from the educational content and my
course.
platforms, of
Yeah.
course, everything that all the customers that are coming to me nowadays, they come because they want to work with Valbona.
Yeah.
Literally, they call me and they're like, oh, you're behind this project, you're behind the project, we heard about you, or like, I know you because of this person, and they told me you need to specifically work with her.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. So I cannot tell you like a specific number of account,
Yeah,
but
of
I
course.
would say 95% of the
Yeah,
account
yeah.
came from that. Yeah.
And they're running community as well, right?
Yes, I opened a run club, and now we just merged with a huger run club as well.
Which I love, by the way. I love everything about partnerships. Partnerships work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I cannot do anything in life without other people. Like
Right.
I don't believe in doing things by yourself. It does not exist.
Yeah.
Specifically because we are not. I'm not able to do everything. You know, like
Yeah.
how can I be good at running, at this, at that? Well,
Yeah.
I know I'm pretty good at a lot of things, but there are certain things that
I was gonna get to that, by the way. How are you able to do all these things, right?
people like community.
Yeah.
So, for example, for the run club now, we merged with Elevate, and we have a lot of other people behind. We have Luke, we have Akram, we have Joy, my fiance, we have Mohammed, a friend of ours from Salesforce. A lot of other more people, like even just the people that come and join every Saturday morning. They
Yeah.
are making this happening. It's not me, you know. Like
Yeah.
for us, the important thing is to show up there. So
Yeah.
this is step one. That's
Right.
it. And for the other things, of course, in the company is hiring the right people. And the rest, I think, is just like the more you do, the more you want to do.
Yeah, consistency, I suppose, as well. And let's talk maybe now a little bit more about 23 Media. Okay. So what drove you to step back from corporate, right? And go into building 23 Media. You did mention that you come from a family of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Any other motivation? Or tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I would never fit right at work. So I would always like try to go right and left, do other people's job. And I was always told off because I was doing things that were not concerned, like not related to my thing, you know, like my role. I should have stayed within that frame. There is nothing wrong about it because as I was saying, Salesforce is successful because of the playbook, but I'm not a playbook person, you know, like many people told me you had a comfortable life. How did you give that all up to open your own company and just risk it all? I'm like, I don't want to be comfortable, right? It's not my thing, you know. I'm trying to do, as I was saying, now I'm planning to do a triathlon. I don't even have a bike.
Yeah.
And it's in 2 months. So my goal is to try things that make me uncomfortable, not comfortable. You know, always try to work on, as people say, on like improving yourself every day, like a 1%. I believe in that concept a lot.
Yeah. Maslow's pyramid.
Yeah.
Self-actualize.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a lot of people say that doing this or like being disciplined, it's struggle, you know, like why would you wake up early? Why would you force yourself? Can you not just be living your life because it's amazing, you already have everything? Or like, I heard this so many times, but for me, that's fun. You know, for me, the fun part about the job is actually when you struggle. I don't know how to
Why do
explain.
you think it's important to have a healthy lifestyle in building your business? Is it because it puts you in this uncomfortable space, which makes you better prepared to face uncomfortable situations at work?
You said it right. Plus, mentally helps me a lot when I'm not training, for example, when I don't eat correctly. It doesn't really, it shows on the work, on the efficiency and on the productivity. If you want to do a lot of things, you know, you need to be really like on top of everything. And apart from performance based, I also feel like that if we don't take care of ourselves, who is going to take care of yourself? You know, like you need to love yourself in a way that it shows, you know, you need to be, and plus my dream in the future is to be able to not only build a sustainable business where I can do from now to when I'm 60 years old. That's what I was saying earlier. I had a meeting with some friend and they were like, how is the business going? I'm like, to be honest, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm going to be doing this from now to when I'm 60. I mean, after 60, I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah.
So 30 years.
Yeah.
Come on. Every day you learn something new. So imagine how many great things I'm going to be able to do. Even if I fail now, fail tomorrow, fail, like you mess up here and there, it's okay. Like I have time. So for me, the important thing is just to be able to live a comfortable life in the future, to be healthy enough to be playing with my nephews and nieces and everything else. You know, like I don't want to be one of those grandmother that goes around, like nothing against that, you know, but I want to be able to be active. I'm an active person. Maybe I have a bit of ADHD, I think. I don't know, but I cannot just stay still, you know, like so I need to be able to do many things. So that's it. I think being healthy shows like in every aspect of your life, from being able to enjoy your life with your family, with your kids, with your colleague, with your friend, to the small joy of life, to the big ones.
Right, and I also can see the maturity and the benefit from accepting help from others. So you mentioned it's not just you; you also lean in on partnerships, right, and other people to make that train move forward, right?
Every day.
And so tell me a little bit more about 23 Media, right? So what does it stand for? What are the values of 23 Media? What are you trying to do?
So 23 Media, it's actually, the logo is like 20, like in number, and 3 in letter, because when we opened, we were 3 people behind. We were the 3 of us in our 20s. And of course, it was my brother, my fiance, and me.
Okay.
And we were in our 20s, now I'm 30, but... So what it stands for? 23 for me is like my lucky number. I was born on 23. Everything in my life happened on the 23rd. So when I met Joy, my fiance was on the 23rd. He was born on 23rd. My sister got married on 23rd. Like his brother got married on 23rd. And so many other small things that, you know, like even like the smallest thing. I had this interview on the 23rd. I got the job, you know, like every small thing.
The universe is basically pointing to 23rd, right?
Yes, in every direction. And my first company in London was an event agency and it was called 23 Events. 23 London, sorry.
Okay.
So now it's not anymore 23 London, it's just 23.
So you did start something before,
of course,
right?
I opened, we had a restaurant in London. It was a plant-based restaurant with meat and fish option. Whilst I was working at Salesforce.
Yeah.
I was working for a startup before that. It was like in marketing again. And it was an app that made easy to find the nearby product. Like let's say you're looking for red boots. You can search it online and done. I'm talking about 10 years ago. So that was a cool thing.
Yeah.
And we won actually an accelerator program. We went in Berlin. So we worked behind the app. We got 3 million investment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was an amazing project.
Yeah.
And then the event agency and so many other things. But, you know, I feel like there is always a right moment for things. I've always been super ambitious and driven and stuff. But I think now with 23, we are at the right point. So what 23 is trying to do right now is just all these years of experience and all the people that I met throughout the year and all the help that I'm getting nowadays. I'm trying to like literally reflect all of these into the company.
Yeah.
I'm learning day by day, like from the graphic designer to the videographer to the customer, because they can actually share with you a lot of feedback that you just need to take and learn from them. You know, like there are so many things that I thought I knew that I don't. And I'm open to, for me, the more they tell me, the better it is. Actually, they make my job easy. The more feedback they give me, I'm like, thank you, I'll do it better, no problem. You know, like, and I'm not afraid of like doing things for free. This is something that people don't want to talk about it, they don't want to say. But for me, in life, it's really important to, as I was saying, give back. It's not always the case of like just taking. There is always a time to take, but there is also a moment where you need to gain certain other things that are like maybe the experience, the connection, and many other things.
Right. Yeah. That are worth the investment.
Of course.
And so, and I love the fact that when you start a business, you don't really need to have something defined that's solid, that's concrete about what you do. Right. You need to be fluid. Right. You need to accept feedback that might change the course of your business, right? What you stand for, what you're going after. So you might start, for example, in content creation for maybe a specific business type, but you might then go and do other things, right? You might start developing websites, for example, or you might start developing SaaS. Who knows? right? And
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about
Yeah.
about starting a business, is that you're small enough in order to pivot, I would say. Are you pivoting, or did you find like an area that you feel comfortable with?
Well, I would say at the beginning, what happens is that you enter a market and you try to do a little bit of everything because people ask you about. And then there is actually the moment when you pivot to the only thing that you are specialized in.
Yeah,
So
but I feel like you have a lot of capabilities, right? And you
yeah.
could do many things.
So
Yeah.
how we started, it was only B2B. Now we are going in some customers that are B2C, and I'm actually enjoying. It's different than what I thought.
Yeah.
It's much more creative, and it's more rewarding in a way,
Yeah.
like emotionally, because you see these brands most of the time, like you see the amount of leads or money that you bring to them. So you're like, wow, this is
Yeah.
amazing. Whilst when you work for a B2B company, you create the
It's very narrow.
content for them, but
Yeah.
you're not really part of their sales. Maybe in B2C, you are part of the, like you
Yeah.
really brought, I don't know, 20% more on, so that's fantastic.
The scale is different. Yeah.
The scale is different, yeah. We started to run some ads, thing that I didn't think I would do before, but it's going amazingly, better than I thought.
On social or on
Yeah, on
Biddable?
LinkedIn actually, for a huge company like corporate. So we have a huge amount
Nice.
that we're handling, and it's going amazingly. Something that I didn't think I wanted to do. At the beginning I thought I just want to do content creation, but now we're doing SEO, we're doing ads, we're doing website development. Yes, consultancy, a lot of consultancy. So people are like, no, I don't want this. I just want you to tell me what to do. I'm like, you want me to? So actually something interesting that people maybe are facing like me is that, and I don't know if people talk about it, but like, is the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, when you start a company, for someone to come and tell you like, I'll pay you this money, then maybe this money at the beginning was how much you were earning at Salesforce in a company in a month, to come to me and consult me. So you want to pay me all this money to tell you what to do and how to spend your money? Yes. Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you feel valued. And for me, those things are common sense.
Yeah.
But I sometimes forget that I've even studied marketing, So
Right.
it's come from since when I was, 18, that I'm studying this and I'm working on this. And it's been now 11 years, So I might know something if people want, So like you're always in that phase that you're like, am I worth it, the shot? But you actually are.
That's such a good point. I feel like a lot of people in marketing have that.
In
right?
every
It's
job,
good,
I
it's
would
good to
say,
hear
actually.
that there's demand in every job. Huh?
Yeah, people feel like, am I good enough? Yes, you are. Like if people
Yeah.
come to you, there is a reason why. And even if
Yeah.
you're not, you're going to find the solution and get there. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that I didn't know a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm not good, for example, with the admin stuff. I'm still not good. But now I'm the accountant of myself. That's incredible. People, like when my family heard about it, they were like, oh, really? Are you screwing up already everything? I was like, no, everything perfect, organized. So I think it's just a matter of like putting yourself into doing things.
Yeah. I think you should be confident in the years of experience that you had, the value that you bring to the table. If you have enough experience, people will appreciate that, right? You go start on your own. The grass is green on the other side, right? So it's good to hear that there's demand, right? For good marketing, for
100%.
SEO, for content, B2B and B2C. Where do you think most demand is coming from? So are you operating in the UAE? Are you also working on jobs in other parts of the region?
Well, I was asked to do a few projects in Saudi. Of course, there is a huge demand there, but what I'm trying to do, and also in Europe, but where I want to be different and where I want to build is a company with employees that are based in the UAE, that I think is different from what other media agencies are doing nowadays.
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah.
It's expensive, but also it's like, they try to go for other options.
Yeah, hubbing.
More affordable, but I don't
Yeah.
want to do that. I'm trying to build my team here, and with that said, I feel like it's better if I work on customer here. I build my credibility, my case study right now where I am. And then in the future, if I want to expand to Saudi, I open my office in Saudi, I hire people in Saudi, etc., etc., etc. So I want to do things properly, like for me, this is how I like things to be done.
Yeah.
So if I ever go, like Saudi for now works because we can fly all the time for project, but let's say Europe, I wouldn't be able to handle it right now. And I just don't want to outsource thing, So for me, it's important to for the customer to know who they're working with and have always the same, let's say, videographer going to them, knowing how the customer likes things to be done, knowing the theme, knowing the vibe, knowing, it's like easier to work this way, and
Yeah,
creating that relationship with the customer, because I want them to be a long-term customer, not just a one-time project.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I can definitely, I guess, validate that it is frustrating when you work with teams abroad, right? When you're managing a client locally, but your planner or your performance analyst sits somewhere else, right? And then you have to sort of find ways of connection all the time, right? To get the work done. It is easier now with technology, right? With video conferencing and all that. But also the market is very competitive, right? To offer the right cost structure for clients, and therefore we're seeing this phenomena of hubbing, right? This is how agencies have been able to, I guess, provide more competitive structures. But otherwise, if you're able to add value, right, by having someone here show agility, for example, local insight, then by all means, everything needs to be centralized around the client, right? You should be actually building teams at the client's office, if anything. Right?
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like some of the customers that I'm taking right now, they already were working with an agency, right? And this agency was based in London, based in Canada, so the best agency. Yeah, sure, but they don't even have a person here.
Yeah.
They would outsource or call a freelancer to shoot content for them. And I'm like, how is that a service?
Consistent.
Like, how is that, that's not efficient at all, you want to be able to, I don't know. We're talking about creative here, creativity.
Yeah.
So the videographer should be able to, even himself, come up with ideas, not only the account manager, you should be able to be on the spot, like, oh, we have an event on Sunday, okay, let's shoot something there maybe, not just like programmatically, okay, we're going to shoot 5 content a month. No, I want to be able to get the best out of the customer,
Right.
and create the best content. If not, then they don't go viral. So my job is worthless. So
let's talk about that a little bit. Content creation, right? Yes. Like, is there a specific philosophy that you follow when it comes to content creation for clients, or like maybe a planning approach or content creation approach that you feel works?
That works, 100%. Depending on the customer is always different. If you're talking about B2B or B2C. But what we always need to include in first of all, you always need to do a competitor research, analysis, and all of these things that are really important. Second, after you did all of these and a marketing strategy for the whole year, plan all the events, activity, blah, blah, then you sit down on a monthly basis and you're like, okay, so on a month we need this, for example. We have, you can give me an example of a brand and I can come up with
let's say Sephora, for example.
Sephora, okay. They have a lot of perfume, makeup lines, etc., etc. What I would do, personally, I would do a series this month of, because it's Halloween, okay? A series at their shop of shooting someone, makeup artist, doing the video tutorial of how to create your makeup for Halloween.
That's
with
good.
Different, of course, like costume, etc., etc. So you adapt that to the month, to the market. You know that there is Halloween, so you need to. They sell makeup, so that's it, easy. On top of it, you promote all the sales or discount they have, the offer they have on the month. You engage with certain influencer. Maybe you invite one of the influencer at the day when they do the makeup, live, to be there so that many more people will come, create content. You create a hashtag for Halloween so that more people will tag and get the chance to win maybe the latest beauty product that we have on shop. Why I'm saying this is because I think it really depends on the product itself. But as you can see, again, there is the educational part there. So showing people how to use your product will let them to buy.
I like that. I like the fact that you also hone in on local market events, local events, seasonal events, right? Cultural events. This is very important.
100%.
That goes a long way. And could you tell me if there's any particular platform that you enjoyed working with more than others?
Platform in terms of social or?
Yeah.
Well,
Like you felt that, or you feel that is giving you the right tools to launch campaigns for your clients, to get insights about the audience that's interacting with your ads.
yeah. Well, for SEO, we have SEMrush.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Okay.
It gives you everything. Like it
Yeah.
checks all the campaigns that other
Yeah.
customers are doing, all the SEO. So I would highly recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
And then, well, I use Sprout.
Yeah.
I don't know, I have this bias because of Salesforce, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm using Sprout for all of my accounts and they give you amazing insight. And
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying because it's like, they create the reports for you. They're fantastic. And when the customer actually has Salesforce, it's amazing because like we can connect Sprout to Salesforce. I can create campaign and
Yeah.
I can check how the performance of the campaign is going. So I love dashboard and I love data. So for me, every type of software that gives me data, it's the best.
Right.
Meta is doing kind of a good job, but I think if you can integrate it with something like Sprout or like, I'm not saying Salesforce itself, but you know, at least Sprout, that will be already good.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
to start with.
Right.
Or
Rapid
Hootsuite as well, but
What's that? Oh, Hootsuite.
Hootsuite
Yes,
as
yes,
well,
for
you
community
know. Yeah.
management. Right. And rapid fire question: TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
Why?
Well, I'm not a fan of TikTok. I think it's
Tell me
like
why.
because
It's a little bit chaotic. I feel.
yeah, and there is all about entertainment, and it sounds weird to say, but I'm kind of against spending time on social media.
Right.
So I'm trying to
At least spend time for the right reasons.
yeah.
Right?
So when if you enter in my feed, there is all about like training,
Yeah.
motivational speech, marketing tips. So things that I want to learn from. Rather than just wasting my time watching people that dance, you know, like so
Yeah.
the audience is completely different and he's younger. And now I'm 30, so I don't
Yeah.
fit into that anymore.
Yeah.
I should start doing dancing videos,
Dancing
but no, it's not
videos?
my thing. I'm terrible at it, so
Yeah.
no.
I think TikTok is interesting. Is an interesting platform. A lot of brands are leaning in to use TikTok to engage with Gen Zs.
Yeah.
Right. That's one reason why TikTok, I guess, could be interesting.
For
but
B2C.
for B2C,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
But I logged into TikTok the other day and I just started seeing these live videos of people talking to themselves, and I felt like, is this what Gen Zs are into? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it isn't what I expected. But there's a lot of traffic there.
100%.
And I heard also the other day that they're going to be working on long form sort of podcast kind of section and tool, which could be interesting.
100%. And Instagram also released the 3 minutes video. So I think that all the platforms are kind of similar. The only difference between them is the audience. And you're right, TikTok is perfect when you want to launch a makeup product. I don't know, like a new gadget, this and that. For B2C, it's perfect.
For mass, yeah.
And it works. Retail, I know people that are doing millions of dollars in selling hoodies through TikTok. So I'm like, wow.
What hoodies? You mean Giving Movement?
No, not only them. In general, like, you know, a lot of people are doing drop shipping nowadays.
Yeah.
And I see those videos that are mind blowing. They're like, oh, I just made $100,000 today.
Yeah.
And oh my god, like, and they only
using
work
TikTok.
and they only work on pre-orders. So they don't even create spend money on like manufacturing.
Pre-order. That's interesting.
Yeah. Pre-order. You create the website. You create a lot of let's say you put a lot of emphasis around the brand and the launch, etc. A lot of content. People start to pre-order, book it in. You get the money, you buy the product, done.
That's interesting. It's the first
But I'm
time I
making
hear
a lot
about
of money.
pre-order for using drop shipping to collect pre-order. And
You don't need to invest anything, only in content creation.
yeah, and then you get the pre-order
and with
list,
those money,
and you go and you make your order, you put your order with the manufacturer, get it delivered.
Yeah, and when they pre-order, they even pay for it in advance.
Yeah.
So what happens is like Kanye just did, you know, with his latest collection.
Yeah.
He put everything at I think $20, and I'm one of the ones that bought it. It arrived like 6 months later, and I didn't care because I was like, wow, Kanye created this new line. It was just like some t-shirt and, you know, athleisure stuff.
Yeah.
But I loved it, you know, and he made, I don't know how many million, if not billion,
Yeah. Which markets are your friends selling in? Or
the dropshipping
did you
people-
hear the pre-order dropshipping business is happening?
everywhere, UK, US, everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
because I
it's
would
a
feel
massive
like
thing.
I would expect that social commerce is more, I guess, prevalent in markets where e-commerce penetration is higher, right? Especially the US, for
US,
example. US, you have 50%, 60% e-commerce penetration. People are transacting on social media. It would work. Here, it's interesting as well because people have disposable income, but it's not as big. I feel like e-commerce here is maybe limited to the pure play, right? Amazon, Noon, and
True.
maybe a few direct-to-consumer brands, right,
True.
that are selling online. Chalhoub, maybe.
Our friend.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe, by the way, that how in Italy they're still afraid to buy online. Like I was there this summer and I was telling my sister, you know, there is this brand. She was like, "Oh no, I'm not. They will scam me. They will take my card details." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I was just buy. She's like, "Only Amazon."
Yeah.
And you know, she said they deliver it to your home and they can come and pick it up. I was like, you know, we live in 2024.
Everyone
like,
can
what?
do that.
And she lives in Milan, like
Yeah,
Milan.
yeah,
I'm not talking
yeah.
about, you know,
Like a countryside
yeah.
town.
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, whatever, you know, like so. I think you're right. It's mainly country like places like in the US and
Yeah,
UK
yeah.
that these things work.
Nice. Look, it's been amazing having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Tell us where we can find you. Valbona and 23 Media.
On Instagram
Yeah?
and on LinkedIn, as we were talking about it. So just,
Yeah.
I think LinkedIn and here, I hope to come again. So
So it was amazing having you here over the on the show. What would you advise? Let's end with this. What would you advise to the audience in terms of how to do proper content creation?
always start with the hook.
Yeah.
So how to, let me give you the 5 tips or what's the best strategy. Always start with the hook in every sector. Second thing is be consistent. Post a lot. The more you post, the more you can analyze at the end and be like, oh, this video worked, this didn't. When you find the video that worked, keep going with that. Like that's going to be like your selling point, let's say. That's going to be the video that is going to bring more people to your profile. And through that video, then you can showcase whatever you want. But the goal is to find that specific video that is going to go viral. And the only way to do it is try different type of videos. And start with a hook and be yourself.
Amazing. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
On your engagement. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure. And congratulations on the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.